Alright, so this is my WrestleMania 31 weekend story. I know this is long overdue. I apologize. So let's not waste any more time. Let's just get right down to it. We kicked off the weekend on Thursday by going down to Access, me and my good friend Charlie. We got lunch at Sizzler early that afternoon, and then about quarter to four, we got in our car and we drove down to the freeway. The drive to San Jose was nice for the most part. We did hit some traffic early on, but shout out to my friend Taryn. She reminded us that there was a carpool lanes going to San Jose, so we hopped in a carpool lane while waiting, and actually cut 10 minutes, 7 to 10 minutes off our original drive. So she ended up saving us a good 7-10 minute wait, and we made it there a little faster than expected. So once again, shout out to you, Taryn. Thanks for the recommendation. Um, when we got to Access, we found parking around the corner of the San Jose Convention Center, and then we walked in. We walked through that kind of line you gotta walk through when you go to an amusement park like Disneyland or Great America. And I made this joke with Charlie because the line was like dead empty. So we were just walking right through, and I know we could have gone under the rope and we would have been there faster. So I was joking with Charlie. I'm going like, "Hey Charlie, this is like that one South Park episode. Like we're going on the line ride." And then he made the joke. Would you like a picture of yourself on the ride? And just the stuff he says sometimes is priceless. It's hilarious where he comes up with this material. Anyway, walking into Access was sort of surreal because, you know, I've seen in the past guys like Miguel, Breach, Paul, Ravi, um, have been, well, not Paul, this was his first WrestleMania, but they've, like, guys like Miguel, Steve, Ravi, they've been to WrestleMania, they've been to WrestleMania Access before, so I know that's like one of the big highlights of any WrestleMania trip. So we were just really excited. I personally was just really excited to be there because that was one of the big highlights I was looking forward to. Um, so we had the special 5 to 10 session that Thursday. It was supposed to be 6 to 10, but they extended it an extra hour, which I thought was really cool. Um, so when we got there, the first line we noticed was Paige. Paige's, and that was this ridiculously long line. It was packed from the time we got in there. It was already packed, crowded. But Charlie really wanted to meet her. Meanwhile, to our right, we noticed Rusev was signing, and he had a short line that got bigger once we got into the line. Um, he had a good line, I'd say, not like extremely short, but we saw that line, so we said, hey, let's go on this line, let's go meet Rusev because I really wanted to meet him. He was one of the top guys I wanted to meet that weekend, and we got in line, and I actually met Paul, Mr. Paul JB44. He was in front of us, waiting to meet Rusev. He had just come from the Paige line not too long ago. He was like the 15th person to meet her, and I talked to him real quick, asked him if he brought the Rusev figure that he was gonna get signed. He did, of course. I got to see it real quick. Once Paul met Rusev, I went up there. I shook his hand. I was like, "Hey, Rusev, how you doing? Nice to meet you." He signed my yearbook. He asked me how I was doing, and he asked me how I was doing, like a funny kind of way. Like, so he's, I don't remember what I said to him, but he's signing the yearbook. So he's looking down like this, and he looks up and he goes, "How are you?" And I told him, "Hey, I'm doing fine, thank you. How you doing? It's nice to meet you." And it was funny because when I found out Rusev was gonna be there at my session, I was unsure if he was gonna be like in character or anything. But he was a cool guy for the most part. He was down to earth, very chill, very calm guy. Very nice, nice guy. So we posed for the picture. I shook his hand again. I thanked him and I wished him good luck for the match with Cena. And then Charlie got to meet him. And then after that, we went down the stairs. We exited off the stage, and we looked back at the Page line, and that line was not dying down anytime soon. It seemed to me to grow as we were waiting to meet Rusev, and we waited, I'd say, a good 25 minutes to meet Rusev, which didn't seem like much. Um, but anyway, getting back to that Page line, it just seemed to grow, in my opinion, as we were waiting in line. Like it got bigger than what it looked like originally when we got there. But Charlie was like really dying to meet her. Me, I wanted to meet her, but like the thing was, I had this mindset where I wanted to meet other superstars who had like the shortest lines, but people I really wanted to meet that had short lines. And then if there was a bigger line that I wanted to go to, hopefully by the time I was done meeting other people in the shorter lines, that line would die down. That was my mindset going into Access. But nonetheless, Charlie really wanted to meet Paige, so we decided to split up. He went his way, I went my way, and we would meet back up at outside the pay line. So after we split, I went to meet the Ascension, who had this really short line when I got there. You would think if you had seen the line, you would think maybe I'd meet them in like 5 7 minutes. Max. That's how long I'd wait to meet him. I actually waited maybe 10 15 minutes to meet him, which is not a long wait. Looks sometimes can be deceiving. Like if you were to see how short the line was when I went, um, you would think I'd be out of there in like 5 minutes. But no, I think I waited like 10 minutes, maybe 15 at the most. But the Ascension were real cool guys. They were really interactive or sociable, I guess I could say, because they were asking me like, was this my first WrestleMania? Was I from the Bay Area? Was I excited for the weekend? I told them, yeah, I'm really excited because this is in my hometown. I was born here in the Bay Area. I think this is awesome that WrestleMania is here. I just want to live this weekend up, enjoy it. I talked to them a little bit about when they wrestled Finn Balor and Hideo Itami at our Evolution, and then I asked them like, what did they think of Balor's war paint? And I think Connor said he thought it was cool. But Victor gave me a more interesting response. He goes, um, I think he said something along the lines of like, I've seen like weirder things before. And when he said that, I paused for a minute. I was like, interesting. Like I just found that response interesting. But I still had a real nice time meeting these guys. They were real cool. We posted a picture. They signed my yearbook, of course, and I just wished them good luck for Sunday. I wished them a nice trip, a nice stay in the Bay Area. So once I was done meeting the Ascension, I went behind where they were signing, and behind them was the Miz and Summer Rae. And I really wanted to meet Summer Rae, but again, it was a case of line was really really long, and I didn't want to wait because I know at Access I only have like 5 hours to try to meet as many people as I can, and I didn't really want to waste like spend an hour waiting in line to meet like two people. Um, so I walked around and I saw the New Day was signing, and the New Day had a good little line, so I decided to go over there. What, excuse me, what I still to this, excuse me again, what I don't understand is like why didn't I go? I walked right past the NXT experience. Uh, I don't know why I didn't even try and go over there and see who was signing because I wanted to meet some NXT people. And from Miguel's video, from the story he recorded on his channel, he met Devin Taylor and Sami Zayn. So I could have ended up meeting them had I gone past Miz and Summer Rae's line. Had I gone to the NXT experience, I could have probably met them. So those are two people I wish I could have met. Like I had no clue they were even over there. Um, but other than that, I go to the New Day's line, and while I'm waiting in line to meet the New Day, I call Charlie and I ask him, "Hey man, are you still on the Paige line? Are you waiting for me by that line?" And he tells me, "Yeah, he's still a good, I don't know, 30 people into that line." And I'm like, "Damn, you're like still waiting to meet her." Um, and then I sent this little tweet, it was like playful kind of tweet where I was like, and this is as I was getting closer to meet the New Day. I was probably like maybe the fifth person to meet him, like 5 people ahead of me or 4 people ahead of me. I tweeted something along the lines of uh, just about to meet the New Day. Meanwhile, at Charlie V Music is still waiting in line to meet Paige. And that was just a playful little tweet just to be like, ha ha, I'm about to meet like 2 other guys and you're still waiting in line to meet this one girl. But it ended up paying off in the end. And he actually retweeted what I sent him. And like I said, it was a playful tweet. It wasn't like mocking him. I was just like playfully being, ha ha, I'm about to meet the New Day. Like, you're still waiting to meet Paige. But no, I paid off for him in the end. Um, Waiting in line to meet the New Day was actually fun because first off, I noticed Big Cass and Enzo Amore walking by, and someone called out to Big Cass, and then I remember watching Enzo walk by, and I called out Enzo, and I got him to do that little like shuffle thing he does, which I thought was cool. And then watching Xavier Woods actually interact with fans was really cool too, because he was like hyper. He was on something, like 4 Red Bulls, because the handler told me that he had drank about 4 Red Bulls, and he was like just going, like not going off the wall, but he had all this energy, and I was like, damn, man, I know those things can get you jacked in terms of can get you like yeah, those things can get you like high on energy or something. But overall, Xavier and Big E were real cool guys to meet. They were stand-up guys, just like the Ascension, in terms of how I interacted with them and everything. Um, when I went up to meet, when I started my little conversation with Big E, I asked him like, "Hey, Big E, where's Kofi at?" And Big E was like, "Oh, he's sitting right next to me, man. Don't you see him?" And right next to Big E was this little stick figure drawing of Kofi, the skinny little body, the dreads and everything. And I looked at it and I was like, I was like, wow, really? Like, I think one of them drew it, but it was hella funny because Big E goes, yeah, he's a little skinny, but he's still got the dreads. So yeah, here he is, man. Just have some respect. I thought that was just funny, you know. That was cool to see Big E interact like that. But like I said, they were nice guys, real cool guys, stand-up guys. Um, I got so caught up in just interact and just watching Xavier and chatting up with Big E about Kofi that I forgot to tell him what I wanted to say, and it was basically that I think it's cool they came together as a trio. I think they're all great talents. I hope to see them win like the tag team titles in the future, which they did at Extreme Rules 2015. And I know I haven't reviewed that pay-per-view, but I might just leave my review below in the description box, along with my WrestleMania 31 review, because I know I never did a live review after the show or a day or two after the show. So I'll leave both those reviews below in the description box. Um, but yeah, that was, you know, they signed my yearbook. We posted for the picture. Xavier Woods actually thought it was cool that I had a Pokeball iPhone case, and I marked out for that. He complimented me on it because Xavier's into anime, comic books. He's a fanboy, so I thought that was really cool. Dragon Ball Z also. So yeah, and I mentioned this in the Merch Mania video when Big E signed his Paige. He was looking at the photo of him clotheslining Seth Rollins and that facial expression he made, and he was like, couldn't they have gotten a better picture of me with a better facial expression?" And what was also funny was when I gave the yearbook to Big E and Xavier to sign, Xavier and Rusev were on the same page. So I remember when we passed it over to Big E, Big E's like, "Oh, I'm not on this page," and I'm like, "Oh, don't worry, Big E, I got your page marked, or I know where your page is." So we went over to that page, and it was cool. And I shook their hand again. I thanked them for meeting them, and I wished them good luck for the tag title match in the Battle Royal on Sunday. So that was a total of 5 people I met at that point. All nice guys, no bad experiences so far. Um, After that, I went over to Lillian Garcia and Emma's line to try to meet them because they had a very short line, like as short as the Ascension's line. And during that, while waiting in that line, um, I missed I think the Tyler Breeze Finn Balor match, but I also missed the or I heard the music go off for Adrian Neville and Hideo Itami there. I heard their entrance music go off, but I couldn't really see much from where I was standing. I didn't see their match in the NXT tournament. But while I was waiting in line, I also met Miguel, freaking Yaya 88, for the first time in person. We've kept in contact via Twitter, but this was the first time I actually met him in person. So, you know, I called out to him. I was like, "Hey, Miguel, how you doing, man? Robert, you know, Robbie One Kenobi from Twitter." And I extended my hand to give him a handshake, and he actually gave me a fist bump, which was cool. And after that, he went up to meet Lillian and Emma, and then here's where things get interesting. So Miguel is meeting Lillian and Emma while I'm waiting in line. Jake the Snake Roberts and Ivory enter the stage. They walk on the stage from my right. So where Emma and Lillian are sitting, that would be to their left. And when Jake and Ivory walked in, just like out of nowhere, or as Miguel said, when they raided the stage, I marked out a little bit because, you know, Jake the Snake is a legend. He's a Hall of Famer. You know, I was like that up close and personal. I was like, "Oh wow, man, that's Jake the Snake Roberts." You know, so I started marking out a little bit. After that, I noticed that Lillian and Emma are starting to like pack their stuff. Not pack their stuff, but they're starting to leave. And then I see Jake and Ivory like right behind them. So I'm thinking, oh crap, they're starting to switch. So Miguel got to meet him, but at this point I noticed that they're starting to switch, and I'm thinking, oh crap, they're switching. And the only reason I say oh crap to myself um, is because I had nothing for them to sign. They could have signed one of those access papers, but like really for someone of Jake's caliber, I would have preferred he signed his Hall of Fame page in the program, or if I had a DVD of his or an action figure of his, I would prefer he signed that. And that's where the program could have come into play. Had I bought the program that night, I could have gotten 2 extra autographs. I could have gotten Jake's autograph because I was maybe like what 7th, 8th in line to meet him, and then I could have gotten Ivory's autograph. Like Jake could have signed his Hall of Fame page. Ivory could have signed either at the top of one of the Diva pages, or she could have signed at the bottom of the WrestleMania logo, on the bottom of the backstage personnel page. I don't know why I didn't stop and buy a program that first night. I didn't. It wasn't like I spent a lot of money that night. I bought just a T-shirt and some food. Well, food afterwards, but it's like when I was at Access, I only spent $30 on that T-shirt. So I could have bought the program, and I could have got 2 extra autographs. Should have, would have, could have. I didn't stop and think about it until the day after. But you know, I wish I could have, but I'm not complaining. So obviously I bolted from that line because I had nothing for them to sign. And then I go over to, I noticed that Rosa Mendes is signing in Paige's line. So obviously by this point, Charlie's already met Paige. Charlie also met Rosa. Charlie actually managed to get a selfie with Paige because Paige still had a ridiculously long line. And when it was time for her to switch, she said that she's sorry she can't stay and sign for everybody. She will take pictures. She will stick around and take some pictures with everybody that was waiting in line. So Charlie got a nice selfie with her, and then he got to meet Rosa. I think he was like maybe 10th in line to meet Rosa, or 11th, whatever. But then I went to that line, and the line was not as long. Once Paige left, that line died down. But I still wanted to meet Rosa. I went up there, and when I went up to meet her, I was going up the stairs. I lost my footing. And I guess I was so excited to meet her that I ended up losing my footing not once, but I ended up losing my footing when I got on stage. I almost fell on my face. So, I mean, I lost my footing again, but I'm thankful I didn't fall on my face because that would have just been embarrassing. And, excuse me. And, anyway, when I go up to meet Rosa, she says, "Oh, you must be falling for me." And I looked around like this, and then I said, "You know what? I guess I am." 'Cause I thought it was cute how she played that off, and how she was like a little concerned for me and whatnot. But then I shook her hand. I told her it was nice to meet her. She was real sweet, and she's very pretty in person. I actually tweeted Miguel while I was waiting for her line, and I said, "Hey man, it's nice to meet you. I'm here waiting in Rosa's line. I hope you don't mind. I'm gonna take a page from your book." When she asked me how I'm doing, I'm gonna say muy bien, and hoping of getting a cute like "oh muy bien" response out of her. Like she responded to him when he said muy bien when they met at SummerSlam 2013. But it didn't happen because I was so caught up that I was trying to regain my composure. That actually did say muy bien, but it didn't work. My little plan didn't work. So, Miguel, for watching this video, I tried, man. Thanks for letting me take a page out of your playbook. Um, didn't work, but it was nice meeting Rosa. She autographed my yearbook. We posted the picture, and after that, I shook her hand again, and I told her, "You're very pretty in person." She thanked me. She thought I was a sweetheart. I also noticed Triple H come out when I was waiting in Rosa's line, and I couldn't make out what he was doing, but he did ask the crowd if they were having a good time at Access. And then he presented Ultimate Warrior's widow Dana and their kids with the Ultimate Warrior statue that they put in the memorabilia. And I actually got to take a picture with that the next day. It was a real cool statue. So yeah, after I met Rosa, I was pretty much done meeting people. I could have met R-Truth and Brad Maddox. They had a short line right next to Rosa, but I really just didn't want to wait in line anymore. So I met up with Charlie, and after that, we watched the end of Hideo Itami versus Finn Balor, which I thought was an excellent ending. I thought that was an excellent second half of a match. And then Charlie told me about meeting Paige and whatnot, and the cameras actually caught Charlie and I while filming the NXT special from Access. So when it aired on the WWE Network, actually I watched it and I took a picture of where they of when I appeared on screen. I posted it on Facebook and my Twitter and my Instagram. So I'll leave a link below for those of you that. So if you follow me on Twitter, you can find it under my media section. If you don't follow me on Twitter, I'll leave a link so you can see the picture, or maybe I'll tie it into the video at the end. But yeah, after that, we walked around, we looked at some memorabilia, we took pictures with the cardboard standees that were throughout the that were displayed throughout the arena, throughout the convention center. We played 2K. We played a match in 2K14 on the PlayStation, or not 2K14, 2K15 on PlayStation 4, and then we walked around the Superstore. That's where we obviously bought our T-shirts and whatnot. And yeah, that was pretty much it for day one. Because after that, we went back home, and we got In-N-Out Burger for dinner. And then we just called it a night. I can't really think of anything else that happened to Access that stood out. Yeah, besides meeting Miguel and everybody that I met in terms of superstars and divas, nothing really stood out to me, or nothing else really stands out worth mentioning. I didn't get to meet Booker T or Lita like I said I wanted to do in my WrestleMania 31 plans video, but I'm sure I'll meet him at another convention or something. Who knows? You know, Lita lives in the Bay Area, so it's not really hard to get her for like special indie shows or whatnot. Okay, day 2 was Friday, and this day was quite something. I'll put it to you like that. When I woke up that day, I slept in, and when I woke up, I was like, damn, man, I had such an awesome time at Access. I wish I could go back. But I said to myself, you know, I'm not complaining. I had fun with Charlie. I got WrestleCon tomorrow, so I might as well just take it easy, just enjoy the day off. I walked over to work in the afternoon to pick up my schedule for the following week. And as I was walking over to work, as I went over to work, my phone went off and I got a text message. Charlie had sent us a group text, and he said, "Hey guys, I know this is like really really last minute, but dot dot dot." He sent that portion, and then the next portion he sent when Alvin and I are gonna go to Alvin and I want to go to WrestleMania Access tonight. Are you guys down? And immediately I was like, oh hell yeah, because I started marking out thinking like, oh my god, I'm gonna go back to Access. So once I picked up my schedule from work, I bolted my ass home. I bought my ticket online. Charlie already had his ticket. He already bought his ticket when he had texted. By the time he had texted us, so I went home. I bought my ticket, and we agreed. And the plan was, because Alvin works at the airport by where I live, so that's like 10 minutes from my house. The plan was we were gonna meet up. Kevin and Charlie would meet up at my house, and then Alvin would pick us all up, and we would drive down to San Jose for Access. So I bought my ticket. I got ready. I got my stuff packed, whatnot. And then while I was waiting for the guys to arrive at my house, I started thinking, well, if Alvin gets here at 6:40, 6:45, we don't hit traffic. We make it by 7:30, 7:45. We're only gonna have about 2.5 hours to meet whoever we can. And I was thinking back to the previous night. I think within an hour I met like 3 people. But of course that was because one, the Ascensions line was short, and two, Rusev didn't have much of a line at the time when I got there. So I started thinking, well, maybe I should only go for 1 or 2 big names and just wait in those lines, and then that's Access pretty much, because we weren't gonna be there obviously at 6. We were gonna make it right as the convention started. So we sorry, lost my train of thought for a moment. Anyway, so the guys got here at 6:30, or a little before 6:30. But then Alvin texted us and said he had to stop by Best Buy in Colma to pick up a car charger. Now Best Buy in Colma from where I live, is like 25 minutes away, I'd say. So then I started adding the time again, and I started thinking, well, he's probably gonna get here at 7:30 maybe, and then we're gonna get there at 8:30. So we're only gonna have an hour and a half. So that's when I started thinking, okay, we're only gonna probably meet one name. But then I started thinking, well, what if we don't even make it in time? We already bought the ticket. Well, I already bought my ticket. Charlie already bought his ticket. And then he also said, well, I'm gonna go pick up my friend at we're gonna go pick up my friend in San Carlos, Renesh, his coworker, um, who's also a big wrestling fan like us. Now, it didn't really take us that long to pick him up, because I thought for some reason San Carlos was beyond San Jose. It was actually going towards San Jose, but we ended up making it to the San Jose Convention Center at 8:30, I believe. And then Charlie decided to just pass on access, so he sold his ticket to Kevin. So Kevin and I went in to access, and we were gonna go try and meet Scott Hall and Hacksaw Jim Duggan because they were signing at the same table at that time. And Scott Hall had this ridiculously long line that extended beyond the barricade. So people were actually wrapped around the barricade waiting to meet Scott Hall and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Excuse me for looking down. So we just we checked that name off the list. We weren't going to be able to meet them. We then agreed we wanted to meet Eva Marie. So we walked over Eva Marie's line, and it was the same situation, to the point where we asked the handler, is this the line for Eva Marie? He says the line's been closed off. So at this point, we don't know where to go. Luke Harper's signing right across from Eva Marie. He doesn't have much of a line. We go to that line first. But then I start telling Kevin, you know what, Kevin, I think I really want to meet Layla instead of Luke Harper, because Layla was signing too that time. And he spotted the stage where she was signing, so we left Luke Harper's line and we went to Layla's line. And we pretty much waited the rest of that session. We waited in Layla's line. While we were waiting in line, we watched Bo Dallas wrestle Singata. We saw Booker T and Howard Finkel do a Q&A in the ring, which was really cool. And then while we were close to meeting Layla, Layla came down the stage and she asked us, hey, do you guys want to be featured on WWE.com? So basically there was a WWE.com photographer there who was going to take a picture of Layla and a bunch of us. So Kevin and I got next to her, got around, a bunch of us got around Layla, and I threw up the click sign for Click 31, and the guy took our picture, and we ended up appearing on the website, which is really cool. So within 2 days, I appeared on the WWE Network along with Charlie, and then I appeared on WWE.com next to Layla and Kevin. So that was cool. I mean, who'd have thunk it? So after that, I got to meet Layla, and Layla's very sweet. She's very pretty in person too. She was a stand-up gal to her fans. She was just having a great time interacting with them. She signed my program, because I brought the program that night. She signed it, and she was giving out hugs to a few people. So I said, what the hell, why don't I try to get a hug from Layla? And I gave her a hug. She gave me, yeah, so I cannot talk, excuse me. I got a hug from Layla, and then we posed for the picture. I shook her hand, told her it was real nice to meet her, walked off stage, and then I stopped, and I turned around, and I wanted to see how Kevin interacted with her. Layla signed his San Francisco Giants hat, which he was wearing that same night. And then she actually wore it when they took the picture together. And when he walked down the stage, I playfully said, dude, I hate you. Like, you got her to wear your Giants hat. Well, I hate you. But of course I don't hate him. You know, I was just playing around with him. It was like, damn, man. I'm thinking to myself, Charlie got a selfie with Paige, and then this guy right here got to take a picture with Layla while Layla wore his SF Giants hat. Like, come on, where's the love for me? But of course I got to meet Russ. I had a little experience meeting her. It was not a competition, by the way, guys. You know, we were just having fun at Access. After that, Kevin and I went to memorabilia, and we walked around. I took more pictures this time of memorabilia than I did the previous night. And I took a lot of pictures of the Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man Randy Savage memorabilia. I found the Macho Man NWO wrestling buddies from back in the 90s. I marked out for that a little bit when I saw it, because I didn't see it the first night. But when I saw Stevie Breach's video about his experience at WrestleMania Access that same night, because he was there with Ravi and Paul and Miguel. I saw it. I was like, how the hell did I miss that, dude? That's the Macho Man wrestling buddy. But I took a picture of it with the other memorabilia, and I took a picture with the Ultimate Warrior statue, like I said. And speaking of the Warrior, Renesh, who's a cool guy, nice guy, he managed to get a picture, I believe, with Ultimate Warrior's widow Dana. I don't know how he did this, but he managed to meet her. He, like, I guess saw her walking by the superstore, walking by like the hallway where you walk up to go to access in the inside the convention center, like when you where you enter. I don't know exactly if that's where he met her, but he met her and got a picture with her, I believe. Uh, so that was cool, you know. And then after that, that's pretty much it, because we only met Layla, and then we just walked around and went to the memorabilia, and then met up with the guys. And they went to the superstore after while we were at Access. So after that, I went to the La Victoria Taqueria in San Jose, where I got the Roman Reigns newspaper. You know, we got dinner there. We got some good Mexican food, and the taqueria was literally across the street from where NXT was that night. Now we weren't tripping that we didn't have tickets to NXT because um, we didn't have a chance to buy them or anything, so we weren't tripping. But we do want to go to NXT next time they come to the Bay Area. After dinner, we dropped off for Nash, and then Alvin dropped me off. We dropped the rest of the guys off, and or actually no, he dropped he dropped us all off at my house, and then we all went our separate ways. Kevin and Charlie drove home. I went to bed after I packed all my stuff to get ready for WrestleCon. Fell asleep, and then woke up at 7 a.m. the next morning for WrestleCon. Um, so it was just me and Charlie this time. Um, and he was dead tired by the time he got to my house to pick me up to go to WrestleCon. And I felt bad because I know he didn't want to go to Access at first, but then he ended up going with us. So, you know, I said, hey man, there's a 7-Eleven down the street if you want to pick up some Red Bulls, you know, because he likes drinking Red Bull when he's, you know, to give him some extra energy. And once he drank it, man, he was just, he was re-energized. He was like revitalized. And I brought some granola bars for us to have on the way to the hotel for WrestleCon. The drive this time, we didn't hit traffic. I think we got there less time than we did for Access. We actually got lost walking to WrestleCon because we parked in the hotel parking lot, but we were going the wrong way actually. We were walking past the hotel, and then we had to go back to find the hotel. But other than that, WrestleCon was just an amazing experience. It was awesome. I mean, I had a great time at Access, don't get me wrong, but I think I had an even better time at WrestleCon. I'm not gonna go into too much detail about everybody that I met. I'm gonna save that for a separate video, because if I did that right now, if I went into detail about everybody I met, this video would be going over an hour for sure. We'd probably be at an hour and a half, because I met a lot of people. I did a lot of things at WrestleCon. But overall, it was just an amazing experience for me because of how up close and personal I got to a lot of the wrestlers and divas that I met. I mean, I had great conversations with a lot of them, and it was like I had known these people. The way I would converse with these people, excuse me, it was like I had known them for a long time or something, like they were my friend or something. It was just great. Excuse me. You know, Charlie and I got a little overwhelmed at first because there were so many people and there was like so many vendors. We didn't know who to go to meet first. But once we met like the first 2, 3 people, we started getting a feel for it, and we just started, you know, getting into the groove of things, and we had a great time. We would take breaks every here and there. We'd go outside, get some fresh air, check out what was going on. Um, the the trivia contest where I won the Rey Mysterio mannequin head was fun, because, you know, I kept telling Charlie, like, dude, I should be up there competing against these guys, because I know my WrestleMania trivia, well, at least from, I'd say maybe 9, 8, 9, 10 through 30. Maybe 9 or 10 through 30. But I did get my chance to go up, and I never really told you guys how I won the how exactly I won the Manningham, but basically, Marty DeRosa asked if there was anybody out there who could name all the Undertaker's victims at WrestleMania. So I raised my hand. He called me up, and basically what I had to do was just correctly name all Undertaker's 21 victims. And it was, you know, it was real easy. I was on a roll, going up to 24, where I blew it, and What happened was, I guess I got like not cocky, but I got overconfident, and I ended up saying Umaga as Undertaker's victim at 24 when it was really Edge. But the backstory behind that was when Marty DeRosa was hosting the trivia contest between the two fans, because he did like 3 separate rounds of trivia between 2 different fans. One question was who was Batista's opponent at WrestleMania 24, and that was Umaga. And the guy that said Umaga got it right, but Marty thought he got it wrong and said it was Undertaker. And it wasn't Undertaker, it was Umaga. Undertaker was the WrestleMania 23 opponent for Batista. So after that was sorted out, and I went up there to uh, list the victims, Undertaker's victims at WrestleMania. When I got to 23, I looked over to Marty and I said, Batista. I sort of said it in like a cocky kind of, not a cocky kind of way, but I sort of, I hope I didn't come off like a dick. But what happened was when I said Batista, because I got caught up in just the excitement, because like the Matt Striker started doing like this to get the crowd like pumped, to get me pumped, like they were trying to throw me off guard, but I was on a roll, you know. And then I ended up saying Umaga for 24. I don't know why. But after that, I listed everyone else right. Shawn Michaels twice, Triple H twice, CM Punk. And then everyone kept saying, he got one wrong, he got one wrong. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I listed the entire streak correctly. And then Marty pointed out that I said Umaga, and Umaga was never a victim of the Undertaker's at WrestleMania. And I was like, oh my God, are you serious? And he said, yeah. And he said, like, yo, I kind of tricked you there because I instilled Umaga in your brain. But Marty DeRosa was a cool guy. You know, no hard feelings. I know he's just playing around with me. I hope, like, if Marty, if you're watching this, I hope I didn't come off as a dick when I said Batista the way I did. Cool guy. Thank you for the chance to compete in that trivia contest. So pretty much everybody who competed got a prize. Even though I lost, you know, I got a round of applause from the crowd and from Matt Striker, and I shook Matt Striker's hand. I said, "Hey, Matt, it's nice to meet you. Thank you." But yeah, you know, like sorry, I know I just stopped. I'm losing my train of thought again. I'm sorry. But yeah, WrestleCon was just awesome. I met a lot of people that I wanted to meet. Lines were not a problem except for Scott Hall and X-Pac. I didn't meet them, but they had this ridiculously long line that was going like all the way back to like the back of the ballroom where like Al Snow was signing. I kid you not. But I met the people I wanted to meet. Charlie met a couple people. We just walked around, took some pictures. It was just a lot of fun. We played this wrestling game called 5-Star Wrestling on the PlayStation 3, which is like a parody of No Mercy with guys like uh, Greg Hardy, Harvey D, Mike Goldberg or Iceberg, I think his name was. And it's obviously parodies of popular WWF, WCW, ECW superstars. The moves are still the same, like the F5, the jackhammer, you name it. It was just a lot of fun to play. We just had having a ball. I think I whipped Charlie's ass 3 times in that game. And he tried to get me to, he tried to get the controller. He tried to like press L1 on the controller to make me, to force my wrestler to release the kick out, to break the hold. Excuse me. And I was like, nah, you ain't cheating. Nah, you ain't cheating. It was just a lot of fun, you guys. After that, we went to this little nice diner called Caro's in San Jose. It's sort of like a Denny's meets Sizzler, but the food there was really, really good. I got the Atlantic salmon with rice pilaf and mashed potatoes, and that was so damn good to eat, dude. That was an awesome meal. And I know Charlie, I think, got baby rack ribs or something. He got some kind of like ribs. But after that, we drove over to Jazz and Tea, this little tea and smoothie spot where Charlie was going to perform for open mic. And he basically we got there like an hour, hour and a half early. So he basically just rehearsed. I chilled out in the car, checked my social media, walked around the area because it was a real nice breeze. I just wanted to take in the weather, enjoy the breeze. And then when open mic started, open mic was just a lot of fun. Charlie killed it. You know, he did this awesome 4-song medley that culminated with Bruno Mars's Uptown Funk. He killed it. I mean, he did an awesome job. All the other acts were great. Just a lot of great acoustic acts that night. And then at the end of the show, Charlie After he thanked the audience for the hospitality and everything, he went, "Oh yeah, I was like, I'm going to WrestleMania tomorrow. Anybody going to WrestleMania?" And I was like, "I'm going with you. I'm going with you." And it was a lot of fun. I think I threw up Click 31 again. And speaking of Click 31, I met Miguel again. And I got to finally meet Stevie Breach and Ravi, and I also ran into Paul again at WrestleCon. But I'm gonna save that video for the wrestlers I meet at WrestleCon, because they were like special guests to me too. I was dying to meet those guys as well. But I had a real nice time meeting them and interacting with them. So yeah, after open mic, we went home. I watched most of the Hall of Fame up until Randy Savage's induction, and then I went to bed. And I woke up the next morning at 10 a.m. and I got ready for the big day, WrestleMania 31 Sunday. Alvin picked us up about a little after 11, and we drove down to Santa Clara. Um, we stopped by Togo's for brunch. And after Togo's is basically like Subway, but it's pricier. Or it's pretty pricey. And then after that, we found the public parking lot because we didn't have a parking pass for Levi Stadium. So we parked in the public parking lot, and we started walking over to Levi Stadium. Alvin had with him the WrestleMania 31 drawstring bag that I showed you guys in my Merch Mania video, but he had to go back and drop it off in the car because Levi Stadium has a very strict bag policy. And I told him, dude, I don't think they're gonna let you bring that bag into the stadium because it's a strict policy. So eventually a security guard told him that he had to take it back. And we didn't even reach the stadium at this point. We were walking toward the stadium. So he had to go back to the parking lot, drop off his stuff. He did eventually we met up with him inside the stadium. After we got through security, um we walked up. We got there pretty early, and the gates were not supposed to open until 1:30, I believe. So we got there. We waited in line with everybody else. We were in the front of the line. We were like one of the first few rows of people waiting outside Levi Stadium for the doors to open. And looking back, there was this sea of humanity just waiting to get inside Levi Stadium. It was like the most ridiculous thing I ever saw. But while we waited in that hot sun, we kept ourselves entertained. I mean, the crowd was coming up with, we were chanting everything from "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks," "Let's go Ambrose," "Yes, yes, yes," Daniel Bryan. I tried to start a "Let's go Roman" chant. Um, when the doors did not open exactly, the gates didn't open exactly at 1:30. For the crowd, we started chanting, "It's 1:30. It's 1:30," and then when every minute after 1:30 passed, we would go 7 minutes, or like 7 minutes late, 7 minutes later, 8 minutes late. It was just like we were just having a ball with that crowd. And then eventually the gates opened. Kevin, Charlie, and I, we went to the upper concourse to meet up with his cousin, because his cousin runs one of the concession stands. We got hot dogs, and then we went back downstairs, and we got our seats right as the pre-show was starting. The pre-show tag team championship match. But before that, we actually got to see Renee Young, Booker T, Corey Graves, and Byron Saxton in person film the pre-show, the kickoff show. And Booker T got a lot of not chants, but he got a lot of love from the crowd. The crowd was like calling out to him, going from everything to 5 times to "Let's see a spinneroonie," or "Booker, you're the man." And I actually called out to Renee Young twice. I called out, "Renee, you're beautiful," because I'm trying to get her attention. I love Renee Young. She is beautiful. But it was really cool just to see him up close in person, filming the kickoff show. Byron Saxton was not getting a lot of love from the crowd, though. I think someone said Saxton sucks. I think someone said, "Hey, Saxton, this ain't SmackDown or NXT," or something like that. I kind of felt bad for the guy. But other than that, yeah, when we got to meet up with Alvin, we got there in time for the kickoff with the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Championship match, which I thought was a great match. I mean, wild action throughout. I marked out when Natalie slapped El Torito in the sharpshooter. I was happy that Cesaro and Kid retained the titles. I didn't think they were gonna lose the titles. I was just happy to see him win and retain. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal was a good match. It was a fun match. I was pissed off with how Hideo Itami was booked in that match, how he got eliminated like only 3 minutes in. He didn't even last long. Big Show winning is what it is. They could have picked a better winner. Um, and then the main show itself, Aloe Black did a great rendition of America the Beautiful. The main show itself, the pre-show was a lot of fun, but the main show itself was just an amazing, amazing show. What an awesome show. The ladder match was an awesome opener. Um, um, the Rollins Orton match was an awesome match with the most ridiculous RKO I've ever seen out of nowhere. My jaw dropped when he hit that counter from the curb stomp. I thought Sting and Triple H was the match of the night. Call me crazy, but I did. I just loved that match a lot. It was a wild fight, which is what it needed to be. It didn't need to be a wrestling classic. DX and the NWO getting involved was awesome. I marked out like crazy when Shawn Michaels blasted Sting with Sweet Chin Music. I didn't even see him come from the crowd. Someone called out Shawn Michaels and I looked. I was like, "Where's Shawn Michaels?" And I see him, and then he hit Sting with the super kick, and I went, "Oh my God, Shawn Michaels!" I just went. It was just an insane, insane match. I mean, the crowd was really into the match. The crowd was really into a lot of matches. The crowd was just an awesome crowd. Um, the performances by Kid Ink, Skylar Grey were nice. I enjoyed the performances, and he also gave me a chance to catch my wind and everything, catch my breath from the Sting Triple H match. Um, the Divas match I thought was good. I thought it was solid. Got to see my girl Paige get the win, and I got to see AJ's last WrestleMania match, so that's quite something. Um, Rusev and John Cena, I thought was a really good match. I thought that was another really good match they had. I did think that the Fastlane match was a little better, but I still thought they had a really good match. Lana, of course, looked beautiful, and I felt bad for her when she got knocked off the apron and hurt her ankle. Rusev just didn't give a damn about her. He just walked off pissed. I had the towel, of course, the Never Give Up towel with me throughout that match. Um, what else? The Hall of Fame. The presentation of the Hall of Fame class I thought was great just to see all the Hall of Famers on stage. The Rock and Ronda Rousey segment was awesome, and I mean, Charlie and I, we tried to get a 14 seconds chant started. I had a feeling he was gonna bring Ronda Rousey into the ring when he walked out, and I remember Ronda Rousey was like to our left where we were sitting in terms of the front row. So when The Rock went over to her, or when Rock went outside the ring, I was like, he's gonna bring in Ronda Rousey. Watch, he's gonna bring her in, and he brought her in. I thought that segment was awesome. I was a little disappointed that Ronda didn't slap the armbar on Stephanie, but I know that was a little teaser to set up the possible Ronda Rousey Stephanie McMahon match at WrestleMania 32. Undertaker and Bray Wyatt had a solid match. Taker looked good. It was cool to see him grow his hair back. He went back to his American Badass look for that match. Bray Wyatt, I thought, had a real cool, eerie entrance with the Scarecrows. And then the main event was just a damn good fight. I mean, Brock Lesnar whipped Roman Reigns' ass throughout that match. And, props to Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar for putting on a really damn good big man match. I mean, Roman had his moments. I honestly thought Roman was going to win the match when he hit the second spear, but Brock kicked out. And then, of course, Seth Rollins Seth Rollins just dashing like thunder down there and cashing in Money in the Bank. I mean, I went ape shit when he cashed in. And I was praying he didn't screw up or anything. And when Brock caught him in the F5, and then Roman speared him, and Seth hit Roman with a curb stomp. I jumped up and down when when Rollins got the pin and won the title. Of course, I went around, doing this with my shirt, saying, "Yeah, I'm wearing the Seth Rollins shirt because he cashed in." That made that made that moment for me even more special, and that made that whole WrestleMania for me really special. Like I said, guys, that show overall was just an amazing, amazing show. What a way, what a show WWE delivered, especially when you consider how bad the buildup was going into it. And then after the show, um, there was a lady handing out free Razor Ramon posters in the parking lot. So we each grabbed one, and I still have one. It's actually, if you can see it, it's actually in here. My Razor Ramon poster's in here, just in case I meet him at like WrestleFest or he appears at any other wrestling convention here in the Bay Area. So to get him to sign that, plus the oh shoot, plus the my program with his Hall of Fame section in it, that'd be really cool. Um, and then after that, we walked to the park. We walked from the parking lot um, to the public parking lot. So from the Levi Stadium parking lot to the public parking lot to just hop in a car, head toward Skyline Cafe in Daly City to get dinner. It's a little Chinese restaurant with some good food. And when we were done, that was the end of our WrestleMania weekend. We didn't go to Raw, and on Friday, when we were eating dinner, I said, you know what, guys, I don't want to go to Raw because we don't have the tickets. I don't want to make this a hassle. Let's just skip Raw. We skipped it. Raw is coming back to San Jose in August, so I think we're gonna try and go that time. This time we're gonna try and go, but I'm not tripping that we didn't go to Raw because I had almost no voice from all the cheering I did. I just kicked back at home and watched WrestleMania. I started watching WrestleMania 31 on the network, and then I recently finished it. And I still think the show holds up as like an awesome WrestleMania, just damn good show that WWE really stepped up with in terms of the quality and the matches and everything. So yeah, guys, that's it. That is my WrestleMania 31 story. Um, like I said, I had just an amazing weekend. I thank God everything went well. Spent a ton of bank on souvenirs. Had a great time with everybody I was with. Charlie, Kevin, Alvin, thank you guys. Miguel, Steve, Ravi, great to meet you guys finally. Thank you for sharing these WrestleMania